Why do humans love sad music? Imagine listening to a song that makes you cry, then listening to it again and again and again. Most of us spend our lives trying to avoid pain. We avoid heartbreak. We avoid loss. We avoid rejection. We avoid sadness whenever possible. So why do millions of people willingly press play on songs that make them feel exactly those emotions? Why does a sad song sometimes become our favorite song? Why do people listen to heartbreak music after a breakup? Why do we replay songs that remind us of painful memories? And perhaps strangest of all, why does it often make us feel better? At first glance, it makes no sense. Imagine someone offering you two experiences. One makes you happy, the other makes you sad. Most people would choose happiness. Yet, every day, millions choose sadness. Not real sadness, but musical sadness, and somehow, the brain loves it. To understand why, we need to start with something important. Sad music doesn't create the same kind of sadness as real life. Losing someone you love hurts. Being rejected hurts. Experiencing grief hurts. Those experiences come with real consequences, real uncertainty, real danger. But music is different. Music allows us to experience sadness without any actual threat. Your brain knows the difference. The emotions feel real, but the danger doesn't. It's similar to watching a scary movie. You feel fear. Your heart races. Your body reacts. But deep down, you know you're safe. Sad music works in a similar way. It allows us to explore difficult emotions from a place of safety. And that creates something psychologists find fascinating. The brain can actually enjoy emotions that would normally feel unpleasant. Because when danger is removed, the emotion itself becomes interesting, almost beautiful. Think about a rainy afternoon, a gray sky, a quiet room, a soft piano playing in the background. Under different circumstances, those feelings might seem depressing, yet many people find them comforting. Why? Because humans don't just seek happiness, humans seek meaning. And sadness often feels meaningful. Happy moments are wonderful, but sad moments tend to feel deeper. They make us reflect, they make us remember, they make us think about life. And music has a unique ability to amplify those emotions. But the story gets even stranger, because sad music doesn't just create sadness, it often creates pleasure. Researchers have found that emotional music can activate reward systems in the brain, the same systems involved in enjoyment, which means your brain can experience sadness and pleasure at the same time. Think about that. A song can make you emotional, while also making you feel good. It sounds impossible, yet most people have experienced it. A song brings tears to your eyes, and somehow you don't want it to stop. But perhaps the most powerful part of sad music isn't the sadness itself. It's the feeling of being understood. Imagine going through heartbreak. You feel alone. You feel like nobody understands what you're experiencing. Then you hear a song, and somehow, the songwriter describes exactly what you're feeling. The words match your thoughts. The emotions match your emotions. For a few minutes, you no longer feel isolated. Someone else felt this too. Someone else survived it. That feeling can be incredibly powerful. Humans are social creatures. We want to feel connected, even if that connection comes through a song, even if the person who wrote it lived decades ago, even if we'll never meet them. The feeling is real, and sometimes that's enough. This may explain why people often turn to sad music during difficult times, not because they want more pain, but because they want less loneliness. The music becomes a companion, a reminder that suffering is part of being human and that other people have felt the same things. But sad music does something else, something many people never notice. It helps organize emotions. Feelings can be chaotic, confusing, difficult to understand. Sometimes we don't even know exactly what we're feeling. Then a song comes along and gives those emotions a shape, a structure, a voice. Suddenly, the feeling becomes easier to process, easier to understand, easier to carry. In a strange way, music can help the mind make sense of itself, and that's especially true when nostalgia enters the picture. Because many sad songs aren't really about sadness. They're about time. A song from high school, a song from your first relationship, a song from a summer that ended years ago. The moment the music starts, your brain travels backward. Old memories return. Old emotions return. Old versions of yourself return. And for a few minutes, the past feels alive again. This is one reason sad music can feel so powerful. It's not just music, it's memory. And memory is one of the strongest emotional forces humans possess. But there's another reason people love sad music. It allows us to experience emotions we normally suppress in everyday life. People often hide sadness. They stay busy, they distract themselves, they move on quickly. Music creates a space where emotions can finally emerge, a space where it's acceptable to feel, acceptable to reflect, acceptable to be vulnerable. And sometimes that emotional release feels incredibly relieving, like pressure finally leaving a sealed container. Which brings us to one of the strangest truths about human nature. Humans don't actually want happiness all the time. If we did, we'd never watch tragic movies. We'd never read emotional stories. We'd never listen to sad music. What humans really want is emotional experience. We want to feel something: joy, wonder, love, hope, melancholy, meaning, connection, the full range of what it means to be alive. And sad music provides access to emotions that everyday life often keeps hidden. Perhaps that's why some of the most beloved songs in history are also some of the saddest, because sadness has a unique ability to reveal what matters, what we miss, what we loved, what we lost, and what we still hope for. So, why do humans love sad music? Maybe it's not because it makes us sad. Maybe it's because it reminds us that we're human. Because somewhere out there, another person felt exactly what we felt. They turned that feeling into music, and when we hear it, for a few minutes, we don't feel quite so alone.